Selena. It's a vibe, baby. Oak Cliff girl, can't make you change my world. Damn, you're so fine, girl. Oak Cliff girl, put them heels on and rule.
Welcome to Selena's Couch, where you are welcome to be free to be yourself. So you can lay your head on my couch, on my pillows.
It's all good, we can do whatever we want to do now. I'm in my bag right now, and I got a feeling, babe, yeah. You're gonna be my number one lover. Spending the night making love to each other, with the lights on top of the covers. Just me and you, babe. And I feel like you're my
Love you to Reese's Pieces.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.
Hello. And I just want to say thank you for joining me today. I'm going to have an open panel as well. So let me go ahead and get that prepared. But I'm going to talk a little bit about Halloween. And some people are not really, they really have mixed feelings about it for some people, especially depending on what religious practice that you practice. It can be something that you especially when it comes, if you have children and you want your children to participate in this holiday. But some people really see this holiday as really something significant. And sometimes it is not a good thing for some people. I'm going to have a few people on here. Like I said, this is an open panel. So you're more than welcome to join as long as it has something to do with what we're talking about. I definitely want to talk about Halloween on both sides. I have Brainwaves up here. He's been one of my guests. And also I will have John up. John also is, he does tarot card reading. He believes in a spirit guide, having a spirit guide or spirit guides. Also, we have Brainwaves on the other end that used to be in tarot card reading, that used to deal with, I guess, spirit guides as well. And now he is a believer. So I want to have a balance. So anybody else is more than welcome to come up. Also, Rollo joined. Anybody, like I said, anybody else that would like to join my panel, I'm going to cam up and just say hello to everybody. Hi, I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for coming through. Just saying, Miss Chicago, Ryan, Natron, thank you for coming through. CX, one of my favorite mods, and Nephi, how are you? Good to see you. Thank you for coming and joining me today. Hey, Lisa, how are you? Good to see you. So we're going to talk a little bit about it because a lot of people, like I said, have mixed feelings depending on what your religion is. Some people say it's not that deep. You know what I'm saying? Some people like, yeah, it is that deep. And I'm going to show you a couple of videos from a person that I watch. He is a ex-Satanist. Well, actually, he's an ex-warlock. And his name is John Ramirez. I believe that's how you pronounce it. You know, I'm not good with some of these names, but he talks a little bit about the significance of Halloween and how if you are, a believer or you don't want to get into the dark side, Halloween would not be the best thing to do. But some people don't look at it that way. Some people are very just like, it's just a regular holiday. It's just a regular pagan holiday. So I'm going to share this with you and thank you guys for joining me. Like I said, anybody is welcome to come up. I'm going to put the link in the chat again. So anybody that would like to come through and join this panel that may have some things that they want to say or things that they have experienced, you're more than welcome to come up. So I'm going to share my screen, and this is fair use. So I'm going to show you this video first. Hey, Goten, how are you? Goten, I'm sorry. I'm going to share this with you guys. Hey, Slim, what's good? Okay, so this is, hey, Juicy, how are you? This is an ex-Satanist, and she is telling some people about what I guess she used to do when it was Halloween, and what Halloween actually stands for in the satanic community. Satanism is considered a religion, so this young lady here used to be into that. She was a Satanist, so she is really letting people know that this is a little bit more serious than people think it is. So let me go ahead and play this.
Is like the ultimate day. It starts. It's like Christians, Easter, and Christmas all rolled in together. The celebration usually starts at dusk and goes on. The golden hour is 11 p.m. to midnight. It's when the most demonic forces are out and about and active. People should not participate in any way, shape, or form because you are worshiping the devil. There is.
Okay, so this is an ex-Satanist saying that you are worshiping the devil. Now, like I said, some people say this stuff is not real. You know what I'm saying? Do anybody have anything to interject or, that you would like to say before I keep playing?
I'll interject very quickly. When you mentioned the name Selena, and hello to everyone here in the chat as well as everyone that's on the panel. When you mentioned the name John Ramirez, I'm very familiar with him and his testimony or his experience or experiences. So I'm not sure if the audience is aware of this, but what I would like to say is when you all do hear this, pay attention to what he's saying as well as the person that we have on the screen. Because I'll say, as a person that's been on both sides of the fence, generally we have people maybe that's only been on one side. They haven't been, quote unquote, a part of both teams. I understand the strategies on both sides. I understand the perspectives on both sides. So I want you all to really pay attention to who Selena's showing on the screen, because obviously this person was a Satanist and now they're saying an ex-Satanist. So at the very least, regardless of where you stand, whether you are a Satanist yourself, you're an atheist, you're a Christian, Israelite, doesn't matter what you are, you can learn some information from who she's showing. And I believe that's why Selena actually picked that person. So please pay attention to what is being said in this video. And I haven't even seen this video unless it's going to take a turn or something. So just pay attention, you all.
There's no two ways about it. I mean, he's real happy that Christians allow their kids to serve him one night of the year. I mean,
he's pretty happy about that. Halloween is routinely celebrated by millions of people all over the world. Adults and children dress up as their favorite characters, and everything spooky is celebrated for one day. People see Halloween Day as just a fun night of trick-or-treating for children and partying for adults. What's interesting is that although many people celebrate Halloween, most don't know the true origins of the holiday. Halloween actually has a dark pagan past that most people don't know nothing about. By celebrating Halloween, you are blindly participating in a pagan ritual tradition without your knowledge. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos every other.
This is The Truth Is. If you are ever interested, you guys need to check him out. Let me speed it up just a little bit.
Blindly participate in a holiday they truly know nothing about. The reason this happens is because over hundreds of years, people have forgotten why Halloween was truly celebrated. While today, kids and adults just see Halloween as a fun day to dress up and party.
Yes.
All right, I forgot I don't have my camera with me. So basically, what that means is when you knock on a person's door as a child or as a grown-up, you giving, it's like a fallen one coming down, and it's like slamming on your gate, slamming on your eyes. If you get what I'm saying.
I
Because
don't.
the Halloween, if you look at the Halloween costume, what does it
Hmm.
show? The eyes and the nose.
Hmm.
What does the snake use? Our eyes and the nose.
Okay.
And it smells different energy, different auras, trying to convince you that they good characters, but they're not good characters. That's all I have to say for now on that.
Oh, okay. And for some people, and I will say this for all my guests, if some of you guys are very knowledgeable of, your craft or, your studies. Everyone is not there. So you might have to kind of speak in layman terms where, everyday people can understand because everybody is not, um, you know, maybe not spiritually in tune, or maybe they're not aware of the things that you're talking about. So please make sure that you explain um, that any like a child could understand. Okay. And I would say that to anybody that gets on my platform, because like I said, we don't want to lose people in the mix.
They don't realize that to others, Halloween is much more than just costumes, parties, and candy. Halloween is actually one of the most important holidays for those who worship the devil. While most people who celebrate Halloween don't worship the devil, they are unknowingly celebrating the devil on Halloween night. This is something that the founder of the Church of Satan, Anton LaVey, said out of his own mouth, being quoted saying, "I'm glad that Christian parents let their children worship the devil at least one night out of the year." The reason Anton LaVey stated this is because he knows what Halloween is truly about. He knows Halloween's connections to paganism and the occult. To occultists, Halloween is the most important holiday of the year. No matter what occult group it is, Halloween is a day they believe holds the most spiritual power that they can tap into. On Halloween night, while kids are running around trick-or-treating, occultists all over the world are practicing all forms of ritual magic. The entire day is one giant ritual that the masses blindly participate in. Halloween is not about candy. It's about serving pagan gods by performing rituals and sacrifices. This is something all occultists are well aware of. In fact, several occultists who have converted to Christianity warn against celebrating Halloween as it might expose you to unwanted spirits. The former Satanist John Ramirez explained why you shouldn't celebrate Halloween in this interview, stating that it's a day directly connected to the devil.
About where you were in relation to Satanism and worshiping the devil.
25 years, 8 years old, little boy, 8 years old, in church. Learned being trained by high-ranked devil worshipers, warlock, and spiritual witches, turning me to know how to take over territory, demonic contracts, different demon territory, demon principalities, first, second heaven. I was being trained all the way to the age of 35. So I sold to the devil, got married in Halloween, had a demonic wedding in Halloween. I baptized my daughter to the dark side at the age of 11. So that was my whole entire life. I mean, I breathed, ate, and slept witchcraft. Astral projecting. I would astral project over region, leave my body, astral project, curse the region. Because I can curse the region, I can capture the people.
Knowing what you came from and what you used to do, you're pretty discouraged that you see Christians celebrating Halloween. Why?
I don't know how you can cheat on God. I don't know how you can cheat on the Lord Jesus Christ. I don't see Satan is coming on Good Friday and coming and hanging out with us, right? I got married in Halloween. I had a demonic wedding. Why would you put your kids, your family? Why would you put your purpose, your destiny? Why would you put your whole eternity in a demonic altar?
People say it's just...
Okay, so John, with you being a spiritualist, some may think you're an occultist as well. How do you see Halloween?
You know what? I see Halloween. I do agree. I agree with what they're saying in the video.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't usually go out on Halloween. My family is a Christian background. That's not necessarily saying. I mean, I have Christian beliefs too, but I have other beliefs added to that as well. But my family is a Christian background. They don't necessarily celebrate or use. Well, we went trick or treating as kids sometimes. Well, actually, as a teenager, we never went as kids. Now, at my church, they had something for us, something for us to do or whatever. But it was never. They never let us go trick or treating door to door. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely agree with what they're saying on the video. Also, I want to let everybody know that when you Google the meaning of Halloween, it's a whole lot of different things come up, and the first thing that comes up is it's about harvesting. It's like a harvest season, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I agree. This in so many words. What are they harvesting, or what do you want to harvest? You know what I'm saying? It's all about
Mm.
the intention that goes in with it. You know, whenever it's I don't even like going to. I used to be a big event person. I don't like going to events. I don't like and I don't nowadays. You really can't go out in large groups, or you're gonna get shot.
Right.
Basically, you know. So, but even like holidays and Halloween and stuff like that, I don't usually go out during Halloween. I
Is
have
there?
been in the past, but
Yeah.
as of in the last 12 years, nah, I
So
don't go out Halloween.
is there something like in the atmosphere that you feel that it's not safe or it's not a good idea to go out on this particular day?
Yes, and yes. I'm just gonna say
Okay.
yes, yes.
And
It's several.
what
It's
is it? Can you tell me in your terms, like what is it that you feel?
um. Well, let me just bring it back to Halloween. Let's just talk about Halloween. Dressing up in costumes and things. This is a day where people can play a role, you know. And I don't know. It's easy. I don't know. that goes a long way too, because people could really be crazy, you know, or people could just be waiting for the perfect time to
Mm-hmm.
where everybody's in costumes to prey on people, you know, uh,
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice people, you know, take people out and things like that, or just misuse them, harm them, or whatever, you know. And I just feel
Wow.
like, especially with the time that it is right now, I just feel like it's important to, if you are gonna have fun, and if it's not gonna be demonic, if you just want to dress up and, you know, and just have fun with your friends, these should just be private. You shouldn't post about it, because, you know, we be seeing people on Facebook getting shot, posting where
Right.
they at. You know what I'm saying? I that's just how I think. You know?
Hmm. Do you think that and I'm asking anybody on the platform, like, do you think that's a high day for uh like sacrifices, things that we
Yeah.
probably will never hear about, like children being missing, and those children or just people, homeless people being sacrificed? Like I think about that type of stuff. Is this a high level day where people are sacrificed?
Yes, and let me express the fact that not just this day, but all
Okay.
holidays or times around. See, that's why it's important to. That's why I got more so in tune with astrology as well. You know, even though astrology allegedly used to be a part of the Bible, they took it out at one point. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so because they're talking about the stars and alignments and things like that. But
Mm-hmm.
those are around events and things like that too that happen, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just important to know what's going on. Each planet rules a certain aspect, you know, like Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. It rules communication, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, as we speak, in 3 weeks we'll be in Mercury retrograde, which means the communication that usually goes forward is going to go backwards. So anything that you've dealt with that's not solved, or any unresolved issues, or uh, anything that you haven't cleared out, is going to be heightened, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
people don't realize all that plays a part in it too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's just
Mm-hmm.
how I think.
Do you have
So
anything to add to that, Rollo or Brainwaves?
I have to agree. Most of what John said is, I mean, it's spot on. What I like to say is Halloween, what people don't realize, is presented, and it's not just Halloween, all of these holidays, they're presented as harmless. See, it's
yeah.
designed that way that it goes back to biblical days, like when
Ooh,
Eve ate up with the fruit. Eat it with the fruit.
write that down.
Ye will be as wise as gods. You know, surely you won't die. Everything is
Mm-hmm.
presented in innocence. So most people say, I'm just putting on a costume, nothing can
Right.
happen to me, or I'm strapped up, or we rolling deep, or we shutting the club down, or whatever's going on, like we good, we good. And there's a lot of things that take place. It's almost like Black Friday. Black
Mm-hmm.
Friday is designed to get retail stores back into the black when they've been in the red all year. So
Right.
Halloween is that same type of concept. It's designed on a spiritual note to get all of those that haven't received the things that they've expected to receive, from sacrificing, spell work, anything they've been doing, what have you. You just name it, anything under the sun, whatever they lost or didn't receive throughout the year, they expect on Halloween to get them back into the black and then some. Some people say
Wow.
stock market towards the end of the year is known as the Christmas rally.
Hmm.
Always around November and December, the stocks just go straight up through the roof because they're closing out the end of the year, and all the investors want to make a killing, so to speak, before they go into the next year in terms of fiscal calendar. So spiritually, that's what's going on. And so, like what John was saying, when we're out gathering, there's people, like he was saying, someone could be streaming on Facebook or YouTube, like, hey, I'm at so and so. And it's not that something actually may take place while they're on the live, but there's energy that people that you may know and may not even realize are taking part or associated with people that are taking part in trying to bring your downfall, sacrifice you, fate
Yo,
switch.
hey, yo, but oh my God. While you were talking, I don't mean to interject, but while you were talking, I wrote down two major things that I can show y'all. And I wanted to talk about because you sparked something to me. I didn't want to interrupt you, so I just wrote it down. But the second thing that I wrote down, I said the energy around the holiday is a form of harvesting. And that's exactly what you're talking about right now. Look, y'all, look. I don't know if y'all can see that.
Hmm.
I can see it. Yeah, yeah. That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
how you know we're on the same wave as well too. This
Mm-hmm.
whole conversation. Yeah,
Yeah.
energy don't lie. But my bad. I didn't mean to interject, but that's what I
Oh
wanted to
no,
say.
it's all good.
Oh.
I definitely appreciate it, John. Thank you. Anytime, like at least with me, because I know this is our first time talking. If you got a thought, especially if it's something pretty good, pretty entertaining, feel free to interject. I'll do the
Okay.
same. I'll fall back if I need to. I'll write notes as well. We're
Okay.
here on this panel because people need to hear this. They need to know. You all are hearing from all sides what's
Right.
going on. And from the video, they're saying the same thing. We're all saying the same thing. I got to tell you something. If it walk like a duck, quack like a duck, got to be a duck.
Yes.
So you mean to tell me I can't go out in my cat suit and act like Catwoman tonight?
Look, but
I
I
gotta
would
be careful
you
about
can do
that.
it. You can do it.
Um,
Just don't
I'm
just
just kidding,
go with
John.
somebody.
Yeah,
Don't
I'm
be out there
kidding.
don't be a lonely cat woman. Don't be the only cat out there.
Yes, indeed. No, I'm not gonna be in no cat suit. I'm not gonna be Catwoman tonight. But I just wanted to make you guys laugh. But so like Lisa was saying, she's Team Halloween. A lot of people don't see anything wrong with it. I know when I was growing up, my people would let me go and trick or treat. You know what I'm saying? But it always seemed like in my it's like in
My
my
bad, y'all.
spirit.
My device is bootleg.
Oh, okay. It's like in my spirit, I was a little like, even as a child, I'm like, this seems weird. It's like a weird day. It's like, even though it was fun going and getting candy, I still felt unsettled and I just didn't understand why, even as a child. And it was just like it was fun, but then it was like a weird feeling. I can't describe it, but kids look forward to Halloween. I know some of the kids in my classroom was like they were excited. They had on their costume, and I'm like, could this be misleading kids as if it's innocent and it's really not? Like I think about stuff like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If y'all scared.
I think about stuff like that too, because I have two nieces as well. They stay really close to me.
Mhm.
Well, like in distance wise, and in just life too as well. But I think about that as well, and you have to teach your kids everything. It's nothing that you can't not tell your kid nothing nowadays. You got to
Right.
be as raw and as real with them as you can, or whatever, however the point can get across, you know.
Right. Okay.
That's just a sad thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Rollo,
But
did
yeah.
you have anything you wanted to add to that?
Yeah, so both of the gentlemen is correct about the energy. Like I stated when we talked about it a couple of weeks or so ago, this is the biggest seeking attention of the whole entire calendar. Like the fall and the winter is where a lot of people get cohabitated, want to be around each other more, don't want to do too much activity, and that's when they try to bring you out more to do more crazy madness. It's a lot of madness during the fall and winter than the spring and summer.
It is.
Even though there's spring and summer holidays, it's not as conveyed as more people acting weird, strange, don't know what's going on. And the thing with candy is, it's like that movie that the sister put out. The candy, they do something to it as you don't remember certain things. It's a hallucinating. I call it hallucinating candy. Why out of all years, candy sells the most during the fall and winter?
Dang.
Like that. Everybody wants sugar. Women crave for sugar more. Listen, fellas, this is a fact.
Right.
Women crave for sugar more in the fall and winter than they do in the spring and summer.
I never
Men
noticed that.
Men want the soda and the sugary in the spring and summer, like they want to get a little bit strong. You heard a man want to get strong, a woman want to get her wings open during the fall and winter, if you get what I'm saying.
Yes, wings. I'm feeling that, Rollo.
Feelings.
Like
Everybody got feelings, emotions. Everybody going crazy. Why you think they have the election around this time?
Right.
Fall and winter. Why it's all about cultivating and why you don't want to be around me? Why you don't want to touch me? All this weird theatrics. Sports is huge in the fall and winter. Everybody want to be seen and heard. Like this.
You said
like
mad candy.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit more.
Fun candy. Kids are having costumes on. But you said much more.
The candy, you know, I never shared this before, but this candy, people from different walks of life pray over these candies. Witchcraft.
We just talked about that. We just talked about the candies that they said some people pray over those candies. Okay.
For the candies, you knock on people's door. You don't know the person that you knock on know she's a witch. Okay, you don't know she's a witch. She's doing Wicca. She's practicing New Age, and you knock on her door, and you coming in legal rights of this witch or this wall. Or this person's practicing this stuff, giving you this kind of candy. Now you're taking that stuff home. You put that stuff into your body, amen. And on top of that, I'm Tom Levain said, out of his mouth, you know, he was the ruler of the Church of Satan, right? Out of his mouth, he said, I want to thank every Christian parent for allowing their child to celebrate Halloween one time a year. The devil's holiday. Why would you bring that kind of curse into your house and curse your family for 3 to 4 generations? So when your kids is 5 and you think it's cool, you dress them up, you put this costume on Halloween, the birthright of Halloween, you're changing your kid's identity. The purpose of the destiny has been canceled unless you renounce it and bring it back. That is the truth.
Okay, so what y'all think about that?
I don't know if someone else. Well, I guess I started speaking. Go ahead, John. Go ahead, John. You fired up. Go ahead.
I do definitely. I feel like, you know what, that's why they have little trinkets and accessories to religion. You could always do holy water. They got Florida water. You can always bless yourself and cleanse yourself. You know, it's all about cleansing your energy and lifting all of that negative energy off of you and cleansing your aura, or just, you know, cleansing your mind, because it's the intention that goes in it. The different types of, they have spiritual baths and things. They have all kinds of cleanses, but it's the intention, and that's what I'm. That's what I think. I think I just said that earlier about the intention. It's the intention going into it. That's all it is. You know, basically, with everything in life as well too. You know, when you pray to God and ask Him to lift your sins or whatever, you know, get you out of this mess. It's the intention, you know, and you're praying. So it's like a form of meditation in a sense. I don't know, but all of that is real. You definitely have to. I believe that words are a form of magic as well too.
Okay.
You know, because what we speak comes into existence. It says it in the Bible. God said, "Let there be light." You know what? Certain scriptures I have to break down even more now that I'm older, because it's the words, or it's not necessarily. He said, he just spoke. It's the meaning behind all of that. You know, because the Bible starts off in Genesis and it just talks about the creation, right? It doesn't say
Right.
what happened before that. But by God saying, "Let there be light," that lets me know that there was a language. There was a language, or there was some sort of form of creation or something like that, you know, into existence. So I just believe that words are powerful. What you speak will manifest, you know?
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah.
true, John. I like your thoughts on that. Goten, what do you have to add to this?
What I have to add, I just want to say what's up, what's up. I just want
What's
to
up?
add, like, well, Halloween. I used to celebrate Halloween until like decades later that it's one of the paganist holidays. Like they do energy harvesting. They do like rituals because that's part of their tradition. And it's like so antichrist in a sense. Because I
Okay.
was so freaking blown that Halloween is much deeper. It's not just like the trick or treating and costumes and stuff. It's about what they be doing. The harvest dark energy.
Okay.
Hmm.
Rumorville, hey, if you would like to come up, you're more than welcome. I like to have another female up here that and Rumorville is very knowledgeable. If she would like to come up, if I don't know if she's at work, or if she's off work, if you would like to come up, you're more than welcome to come up. I actually would love for you to come up. I'm gonna play a little bit more of it, and then I'm gonna go to the next video.
Trick of the devil.
As you heard for yourself, John Ramirez claims that Halloween is not what most people think, explaining how occultists use Halloween to perform all types of satanic rituals. This is the same thing another former witch stated in a different show. Jenny Weaver explains, just like John, that Halloween is a holiday for witches and occultists.
I have to ask you, what does witchcraft have to do with Halloween? Halloween is just trick or treat, children having fun, costume parties, Christians and non-Christians alike celebrating. Christians can say, we don't think anything about the bad things from Halloween. But let's start out for basics. What is Halloween?
Well, Halloween is a celebration of dead. And it started out with Celtic druids years and years and years and years ago. This whole entire holiday or day was created to summons up the god of the dead. And they would basically call on the people who had passed on, who were in the graves, for their spirits to come and roam through the earth on this day, that they believed that there was a veil that was thin crossing over from summer into the next month. They believed that that veil was thin going into the next season. And so because the veil was thin between the spirit world and the earth world, that the two could collide. And so that's what they wanted. It was all steeped in witchcraft. It was all steeped in communicating with the dead. That's the original root and origin of this holiday. So much so that they believed that this happened, and they felt this happening, that they
let me stop. Hold on just a second.
disguise them.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
I want to say that dang, she just said something. She said there, I lost my thought. My bad. It'll come back to me. Sorry.
Okay.
Comment real
In
quick.
costume.
Go ahead.
While you had it on pause, like what she's talking about is actually called Samhain. That's the actual Samhain.
Okay.
That's actually the festival before it got the name Halloween. A lot of things here in our English American culture,
Okay.
the names have been changed and rearranged for our understanding, but they had original names. And so what she's saying is correct. It was originally satanic culture, demonic culture, whatever you want to call it, that they would do. And the costume wearing, this is where some people think that it's good. They believe that by putting on costumes, they would ward off evil spirits, the one she's talking about, because they would say, hey, I got a costume on and I look like a demon. So the demon won't attack me because it thinks I'm a demon. or
Right.
whatever, or I'm a ghost, or
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Yeah, that is yeah, exactly. I agree with that. He's saying you onto some you onto everything that I was thinking, but I didn't know the terminology. I didn't even know it was called that.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what she's saying is real. And the point, what John was saying, we're taught to put letters together. And when you put letters together, you spell words. So by spelling and speaking, we're literally doing witchcraft. So I tell everybody, whether you
Yes.
call yourself an Israelite, you call yourself a witch, an atheist, whatever, just by us speaking and writing, we're all technically engaging in some
And
type of
spelling.
exactly. John knows.
Yes.
But see, it's too deep for most people to comprehend. And then when they hear you say that, they can't handle it emotionally.
Let me also say this, that when you write something down, you're putting a spell on it.
What?
Yeah, it's spelling. That's why it's called spelling.
Wow, spelling. That's what you saying, John?
Yeah, when you write something down, that's a manifestation. That's why it's called spelling.
Wow. The school systems had bamboozled us.
That's why they want to. That's why
Because when we
they
was in
omitted.
school,
That's why they don't do cursive no more, because that's one of the original texts.
Mm.
And when you
oh
write
wow.
originally in calligraphy and all that, and those ancient symbols, or if you know that language or whatever languages, it's several. Yeah, for real.
Man, sometimes I'm like, are we, are we too deep? Or is this really what's going on? Sometimes I wonder, like, is it too deep, or is this, I kind of get pulled because
When you say too deep, what are you speaking
I
of?
mean,
The
because it's
subject?
like that is something that is foreign to me, to hear that about writing, spelling is like, we're
Let me put it to you like this. I'm gonna spin it to you a different way. You know how people get a vision board?
yes.
It's the same thing. You get in the vision board, or you know what else is it? What is the best vision board is your mirrors at home. You're in your bathroom. Get you a dry eraser marker, and whatever goals you want to complete, write them up there. Even if you don't even, whatever comes in your mind, write it on there, and then cross them out or erase them when they get completed.
That's
When you see
correct.
something when you see something every day, it sticks in your mind. Just like when you hear Glorilla, yeah, glow, get them, glow all day. You gonna start saying it all day.
Correct.
Same
Right.
thing.
A
So
lot.
it's about the repetition as well too.
Right.
I don't know, but that just helps me as well. But when you write something down, you definitely putting the spell on it. That's why people have vision boards. That's why people write pros and cons lists to see what outweighs the bad,
Correct.
which one is best. All kind of
Wow.
things, even budgets as well too.
Correct.
And then literature when you're talking about the MLA format and writing papers and things like that as well too.
Yes.
All of that, you just have to. I don't know. That's just how I think. That's what I know for a fact. Because
And that's
any
why.
businesses that I've created, I've all written them down.
Right.
Wow, that's crazy. Go
And
ahead,
see,
Rollo.
that's why he's right, because what did I say to you guys? A woman, in order for her to visualize you, it has to be in the mirror. She has to know within that time frame if she's going to be with you long term or season, as Ringo talks about. Because see, when a woman looks at you high, it's a potential that you're on her high stature of mirror. When she's looking at you down, it's like an onward, like the mirror is tilting. Should I deal with this person? Should I not deal with this person? So she's writing in her mind. That's why y'all have a memoir, a book. A lot of you ladies write books about your relationships. Everything you write, good or bad, it's a balance. It's like a budget. Okay, you got to have a certain amount. You're trying to reach that goal. You're not trying to go over. You're not trying to go under. So everything is a spell. Everything we talk about, life or death, is in the power of the tongue, as the Bible says. That's all I gotta
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Straight Hogwarts. Straight
Okay.
Hogwarts all day, every day. People laugh at Harry Potter.
Mhm.
That's another conversation, but that's essentially what they were training everyone to do in there. How to actually operate, what to
Well,
say, what not to say.
let me can I say this? I did watch the documentary of that, the author, and it was I guess she was a former witch, and she was
And she
saying
had been writing
that,
them books for years.
yeah, she was saying that those were real spells that were actually in Harry Potter. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, children were probably saying, repeating some of these same lines in the movie, or reading this stuff, in the books. It was,
The Little
recorded.
Mermaid. The Little Mermaid got a spell in it. Ursula put on Ariel. She
Right,
said, yeah, that's the whole spell. If
right.
you Google that, it's about talking about swelling up your throat so that you can't speak. And it's a you Google each word. I promise you, you're gonna be like, what? It's a real spell. It's real stuff. They pumping it in the kids' heads. For real, that's what they doing.
So
Wow.
you mean to tell me Disney is messing?
Oh, Disney is the
It's
devil.
the
What?
three
That's
sixes of Disney.
Disney devil.
Yeah. Disney
Yep.
been doing this for decades. They
Allegedly. I gotta say allegedly.
allegedly.
Yeah,
Wow.
you gotta say allegedly so you won't get
Allegedly.
sued, Yeah.
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 And that's what they
Okay.
do
Mm-mm-mm.
in the spiritual community. Like in the new age community, I know John understands this. A lot of the spells that a lot of people do, they try to mess with your throat chakra. So if
Yeah,
they'll keep
exactly.
say like somebody needs
Wow.
to say like a loved one, say like your spouse or something, they should be telling you I love you. Let's say they said I love you all the time, and all of a
Mhm.
sudden they stop saying I love you. And you like,
Mhm.
what's going on? Somebody probably did some type of throat chakra spell or choked them up or did like the Little Mermaid area spell to keep them from speaking those words. Or maybe it's something in business or they do that sometimes like when we go live. When content creators go live, certain people will try to attack your throat chakra. So all of a
Right.
sudden, when you need to say something, you start choking, you start
Right.
coughing, you have
Or you
trouble
start
speaking.
seeing gnats and flies like I did on the last live. I was like, you remember
Yep,
Oh
the
yeah,
monitoring
I saw
spirits. Those
that.
are monitoring spirits.
Exactly. And I didn't want to say that. We weren't on
What?
that topic then. But I knew that's what that was. And I couldn't get that bitch. I didn't
Oh
get
my God, that's
It's real.
crazy.
it.
It's real.
Yeah. It's real though.
Right. Okay, well, okay, let me play a little bit more.
So that these spirits that were roaming around the earth on this day, they wouldn't try to take vengeance out on them as a human. The spirits would see them dressed up as a ghost, and they would pass the human by and go to the next one. And so that's where we incorporate costumes and dressing up. That's why a lot of times when you see costumes, although you see nice angels and these things, but most of them are scary. They are horrific, the ghouls and goblins and all the things that bring fear.
Do you think, or no, I'm just curious, do witches use Halloween as a point of contact to either recruit people or harm people?
Yes, absolutely. Now, I will tell you this. This is a day that witches and Satanists look forward to, like Christians look forward to Resurrection Sunday or Christmas, celebrating Jesus. This is a holiday that people are witches, Satanists, people that are doing sorcery and magic. They are on high alert. They will rest all that whole week so that night they can be up throughout the night, practicing spells, the craft, even roaming around. You notice that if you look at statistics that night, there's more kidnappings, there's more people going missing, there's more crime, there's more murders that happen. That night is like the devil's play.
As you heard for yourself, these former occultists both explain why Halloween shouldn't be celebrated. It's a day of great importance to those who worship pagan gods. If you're asking how is this possible and why isn't this more commonly known, well, we have to go back to the origins of Halloween in order to be able to understand all that. The origins of Halloween are far more sinister than just fun costumes and candy. In reality, it was originally a pagan festival called Samhain. Samhain is an ancient pagan festival that was celebrated by the Celtics during Halloween. The Samhain festival traditionally marked the first day of the Celtic year on October 31st. The Celtic calendar is divided into two seasons, the dark half and the light half, and Halloween marks the beginning of the dark half. The Celtics believed that on October 31st, the god Arwan, who was considered the Lord of the Dead, would rise with the spirits and cause destruction by destroying crops and bringing cold, dark winters. They also worshipped a god called Kromkruch, who was a fertility god that the pagans often made human sacrifices to. To appease these gods, the pagans were known to dress in frightening costumes that resembled the spirits to blend in or scare away the spirits. The Celtics were also known to build altars and make food offerings. The kids would be dressed as demonic spirits and would be sent door to door saying ritual verses in exchange for food offerings for the god, just like the children do today during Halloween. But more on that later. Samhain was believed to be a day where the spiritual world was set free and roamed the earth to cause destruction, a day of darkness and the literal worship of death. So how did a festival like Samhain evolve into the Halloween we celebrate today? Well, it all goes back to the biblical times, right before the Romans claimed to have abandoned paganism for Christianity. After the resurrection of Jesus, the Romans knew that things were going to soon be changing. This is when in 313 AD, a Roman emperor by the name of Constantine the Great claimed that he had a vision from the heavens convincing him to turn to Christianity. He claimed that the Christian God told him he was going to protect them in the Milvian battle that was going on at the time. Constantine's army would go on to win the battle, and the emperor gave the credit to God for the victory. After the war, Constantine became an advocate for Christianity and even played a role in legalizing it as a religion in Rome. He would become the first Roman emperor to claim to be a Christian. Now, knowing the Romans played a part in the crucifixion of Christ, this was truly strange. After this took place, Constantine helped establish the Roman Catholic Church, and he convinced the Roman Empire to convert to Christianity. The main problem with this is Constantine was a devout pagan who worshipped the Roman gods the entire time. He was known to sacrifice and perform rituals in honor of the gods. So did he really convert to Christianity? Well, not exactly. Scholars believe that Constantine's conversion to Christianity was politically motivated and he never truly converted. But still, Constantine's conversion is what led to the creation of the Roman Catholic Church. What most people don't know is that the Romans created the Catholic Church to be able to capitalize off the rise of Christian beliefs in order to preserve their pagan traditions. Constantine never converted to Christianity. What he did was create a plan that would allow the Roman spiritual beliefs to live on in the New World. The Catholic Church was originally created as a front for Roman pagan god worship. The Romans...
Wow. I have researched that I would say the Catholic Church, it has a lot of pagan rituals, and Jesus don't have nothing to do with it. So what are your thoughts on what you just heard? It's pretty interesting.
That is interesting. I definitely think that I agree with exactly everything, but well, not exactly, but I agree with that last statement you just made, that you said a lot of the Christian traditions are pagan or whatever. And do you know that I can't say that's the reason, but I stress to the fact that the reason why they put Jesus on the cross is because they accused him of doing witchcraft. You know, they accused him of healing people through magic. You know, it was something that they had never seen before. You know, and so they just deemed it evil because they didn't know about it, or you know, it wasn't powerful. Their magic, you know, or whatever. I'm just assuming they were doing magic too. I don't know. It wasn't. It was just something that they weren't used to, basically.
Now, John, we talked earlier and you were telling me a little bit about you also wanted to talk about magic and you have practiced magic. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, so I've always been. Let me just put it like this: I've always been attracted to fire. I'm not
Okay.
burning things up, but just like fire. I've always liked fire,
Mhm.
uh, um, and I've always liked candles as well too. But I didn't know why I like them. You know what I'm saying? I just always liked fire and candles. And I don't know, later on as I got older, well, growing up in the church, it was certain, I grew up in Christianity, well, in the Christian religion. And it was certain things in the church that I didn't get answered as a kid. And
Mhm.
so it led me to, I told you this, but I'm just briefly saying it for them. It led me not to necessarily fully believe in something that a teacher was teaching me that they couldn't explain, you
Mhm.
know? And so it kind of led me to be like, well, if you can't give me the answer, then what's the point of why are you teaching this to me? Why are you drumming this into my head? But as a kid, that's how I used to think of things. And and then it's just so many rules anyway. But anyway, but as a kid, I guess it was more so things that didn't get answered just didn't make sense to me in my mind. So that just led me to look into other religions and things like that, and other practices. And I noticed that Christianity stemmed from Catholicism, right? And so in Catholicism, they use a lot of candles,
Mhm.
and then they do a lot of other different things where they go and um pray to different deities, or whatever, or different saints. That's what they call them.
Mhm.
And it's just totally different than Christianity. uh but for Christianity, oh, I don't want to say this, but I think I need to, but I don't know
Go
if
ahead.
I should.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, John. Yeah, bring it. Come on, bring it, John.
Let's go.
Okay. I feel like since we're talking about magic, I feel like if let's just hypothetically say Christianity were magic, right? Or all religions were some form of magic. Let's just allegedly say that, right?
Mhm.
Christianity would probably be the lowest form of magic, possibly, because they don't use candles. Every other religion uses candles, or uses some sort of meditation, or uses some sort of, or uses crystals, or uses chanting and things like that to heal. Christianity doesn't really do that. uh so it's more so, what I guess they do is more so like a meditation thing, more so praying is meditation, I think. To me,
Mhm.
that's the same thing. uh I just feel like it's a good side to everything, and it's a bad side to everything. But also, in learning in the bad side, you learn about all the shit. I mean, okay, let me put it to you this way. Uh, I learned my best lessons going through the worst shit in my life. So
Yes.
it made me appreciate the bad as well too, because if it hadn't been for the bad, I wouldn't be as strong minded as I am right now.
Mhm.
But that didn't steer me away from my personal beliefs or what worked for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When it comes to spirituality and things like that. And also, um not being offended, or not being afraid to answer any questions coming from anyone questioning my beliefs. Because it's not
Mhm.
about, you shouldn't be questioning what I believe in. You should be worrying about what's best for you.
Right. Can I ask you now? I want you to, if in layman's terms, like I always say, I want you to tell me what is magic to you, because I'm not
magic
sure
magic
people.
is
Uh,
magic could be a number of things. Magic is manifestation, but it's also a prayer. It's a request. It's also we have to understand that in the Bible, if we're going to talk about Christianity, in the Bible there's angels, right? So in the Bible
mhm.
there's angels. So also we know that the church always says, I don't know if this is a Bible verse or not, but God don't show up when you want him, but he's always on time. But he
No,
also has
that's
these
not a
other people.
that,
He also
that's not
has
a
these.
Bible verse, from
It's
my
not about. I know,
understanding.
right.
Okay, go
But
ahead.
that I say that to say that God made these other beings, angels, for you to contact, and I realize we're supposed to be calling on the angels. They're there to help us. You know,
Right.
and they go through God. Or I don't know. It's really tricky, because that kind of feels like a middleman. at this at a little bit to me, but I don't know.
Okay.
I don't want to speak too much on that topic, but I feel like that these angels are there to help us and to guide us and there's specific um incense that they like or colors they like, and I believe that when you involve candles in that and do that request, you're honoring that specific deity or that specific angel and requesting, because it's all about the intention. You know what I'm
Right, right, right.
saying?
That's
So
okay,
yeah.
John. You know, you talked about, and see, brainwaves can probably relate to you because brainwaves was also, he used to do tarot card reading, just like you are doing currently, and he also talked to spirit guides. Now, in your opinion, spirit guides, are they good or evil to you? What is your opinion on that?
They
That
are
for me is John.
energy.
John, right? You asking John, Selena?
Yeah, I was asking John first.
To me, they are energy. And when it comes to energy, like what exactly is energy? It's neither good nor bad, but it can be. You can form it. You can request it to be whatever you want.
Okay. So are they angels or are they just spirits to you?
Angels are one aspect. We're all allegedly assigned 4 angels. Now, those are the angels that are uh I'm just gonna leave it at that. We're allegedly assigned 4 angels. Now, also, I want to talk about spirit guides and things like that. Spirit guides possibly are your passed on ancestors or loved ones,
Mm-hmm.
or those ancestors deep in your bloodline you probably never met, or past lives, or whatever's in your DNA. That could be
Mm-hmm.
a spirit guide as well.
Okay. So that's how you see spirit guides. So brainwaves, I don't know if Rollo had experienced that. I think Rollo said also he used to study tarot card reading as
Yes, I
well.
did. Yes, I
Okay.
did.
So I'm gonna go to brainwaves first, and then I'll go to Rollo.
Okay.
So brainwaves, you no longer do tarot card reading. You no longer are into some of the rituals that you did before. I want to, from your standpoint, on what is magic. Can you explain that to people that don't know what it is?
I'll try to make it as simple as possible. Now, as John mentioned, it can get very deep. It can be very complicated, but it's simply uh, best way I'll explain it is a supernatural way of changing things or changing a circumstance. Meaning something. When I say supernatural, something outside of the normal physical means to affect the situation and or its
Mhm.
outcome, something beyond the normal human ability. That's what I would call it. Now, in the spiritual practices, now this is ironic. Some people will say, well, wait a minute, you're over here on this biblical side. So why are you speaking so deep and so adept about the actual spiritual practices? Well, that's because I've been there and I've seen it. So I know a lot about it and I want to talk about it from that perspective. So, one of the things that I understood in the time, you have the pentagram.
Mhm.
And in Wicca, in New Age, and several practices, the pentagram is not looked at as an evil sign. As a matter of fact, it's looked at as a very powerful and righteous sign. Now, to make
Mm.
the biblical connection, we have the Star of David, and there's
Yeah.
extreme. You're going to find this
Yes.
same throughout the Bible, throughout a lot of things. You're going to find an extreme duality, almost like a mirror version of, well, it's okay over here. And I spoke about this on a business platform. Gave a whole speech on this. So you'll have symbols that it's okay over here in Christianity or in this faith or in Catholicism or what have you. But if we come over here to New Age or we come over to this, then all of a sudden it's evil. And what I want to say is that the pentagram in itself is not evil
Right.
because it's just represented by all the natural elements. You got air, fire. So, like on each side, it's kind of like how the cross is. You'll have, top, bottom, left, and right, or however you want to go about it. You have earth, fire, air, and water.
Mhm.
Um, and you're essentially like in the middle of it. and you're calling on, what they do is they call on those energies. Now, when you call on those energies, kind of like what John was saying, he gravitates more to fire. This is where you hear in astrology, are you an air sign? Are you a water sign? Are you, earth sign, air sign, et cetera, et cetera? What's your moon sign? So like, for instance, at nighttime during Halloween, obviously what your moon sign is, it might be a different element. So people would tap into bringing those type of belongings. So maybe they would have water with them. Say if their moon sign is water, but they're a fire sun sign, they would bring perhaps light of fire, and then with that fire have some type of water or something like that to bring
Wow.
emphasis to it. Now, intention is everything. Well, whatever we do, it's all about intention. If you pray, for instance, let me speak from the church perspective. This is why you got pastors in the church, they be having bad intentions. Their intentions is only to get rich, only to do this. So even though they're praying, even though they're conducting a church service, they're running a church, or building a ministry, their intentions are bad. So what happens? It becomes bad soil. Things start, people get messed up, they don't grow, et cetera, et cetera. What's the difference?
And that's why they
between that?
create ministries.
There it is. So why is the difference between that versus what somebody's doing on the other side, quote unquote, that they're not doing it for the wrong reasons? And this is a big misunderstanding. This is what John was trying to say. A lot of people just say, oh, you're over here and you're doing this, and everything that person's doing is evil, is wrong, is bad, spank them, spank them, spank them. And you have to actually pay attention. Are they doing things to help people? Are they doing things, like I
Right.
said, are they trying to cleanse the energy, cleanse the atmosphere,
Exactly.
do everything with the right intention, or are they trying to do everything with the wrong intention? And so that's where this
Yes.
ties into with this whole Halloween, Samhain, Beltane situation. You have people that are transitioning into the dark side of things. So by taking in that, so again, I'm gonna tie it in. A lot of people say, hey, I'm going out to Halloween, I'm just partying, that's innocent. I'm just putting on a costume,
Yes.
that's innocent. I'm not trying to do anything. But what you're actually doing is you're yoking yourself to dark things. You're yoking yourself
Yeah.
to the dark side, Luke Skywalker. And so when you do that, what your intention, your
What?
intention actually shifts. Your intention
Okay.
I got
shifts. So
it.
you're doing the right things, but your intention actually shifts. So we
She
have
ain't
to
never
be
seen
careful with our
Star
intention.
Wars, I guess.
Yeah, I had to do a little Star Wars reference.
I'm like, where did that come from? But okay. So you said the attention, your intentions. Okay.
Into intentions, your intentions.
Intentions.
So that's what
Intention.
people have to pay attention to. You have a lot of people that preach, again, they're preaching Bible, they're preaching the word, they're doing this, but their intentions are wrong.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
why would that person be more righteous or be more holy or get a pass in God's eyes versus
Ooh.
someone on the other side of the spectrum that actually has good intentions and they're doing
I want to
everything.
also say people can say things but do totally the opposite. You have to look at the people's actions as well. Actions speak louder than words. We can't forget that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that has to be at the forefront. And what they saying got to be in the back of your mind. What they
Yeah,
doing got to be in the
absolutely.
forefront. You know?
Okay. That's really good that you said that. Rallo, you're next. What did you have to add to this?
So I used to do tarot readings and palm reading. So I was more into the palm reading based on scenarios of planetary basics or futures. And a lot of the stuff I got accurate. So I did it for the right reasons. Now, a lot of the predictions, it varies good and evil. So you have to be cognizant of what you say, because when you write stuff down, that's magic too. That's the biggest magic. Like the book, if you're not careful, could be a spell to most people, and it's direct information. You get what I'm saying? So like that's what I was dealing with. So I was doing it from, like, I would say 2002 to the time of Wall Street. Now, the thing that some people, believe it or not, use these things to get companies to hire them, to put them at a certain spectrum. They put on certain ointments, certain designs. I can't remember the name of the movie that certain men put on certain things and certain women put on certain things to attraction. The attraction, it's like an attraction spell.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do that for people, and I did it for good purposes. I said, if you try to control the person, that could be detrimental to that person and to you, and you could be responsible for whatever happens to them. So anything you do, whether it's good or bad, it's a responsibility on you. So when you go through that fire, because we all want to go through that fire and we try, what's going to outweigh of what you did, good and bad, on both spectrum? So you have to be balanced. See, it was not intended for us to know balance because a lot of people ain't ready for that. That's why when we do content, we have to be cognizant, like you stated earlier, mindful of what we say, because most people brains might go sparrow and crazy because they're not ready for that. That's why, like even on the government level, on the presidential level, on the 1% level, they can't give the masses everything because everybody will crash out. They're not ready for that. People saying they're ready for soaring worlds, you're not ready. I've seen dragons. I've seen reptilians. I've seen people with barcodes. I've seen werewolves. I've seen vampires. The Most High allowed me to see that in New York, like that dragon.
Wow.
I've seen it. The Lord is my witness. I've seen these things. I've seen the big dragon under the Brooklyn Bridge. Because when you have that third eye and you fast, you drink, you have clarity, you don't get involved with certain environments, you can see them, you can smell them from a while away, whether you're on the righteous side or on the wicked side.
Wait a minute. So this is
I agree, man.
We all agree.
But listen, I need to ask you this question when you said that. What do vampires look like? Like in werewolves, do they look like me?
Because Constantine, Christopher Columbus was a so-called black man. He comes from the tribe.
Yes. Wallow.
Okay, hold on, Golden.
My bad.
Repeat that.
Christopher Columbus is a so-called black man that comes from the tribe of Dan. Okay? You had Edomites who so-called black. They was doing a lot of visionaries, and it was in the Psalms thing. You have a thing called the Ring of Solomon. I went to a certain place in South Africa. They talked about the Ring of Solomon. And the Ring of Solomon, he had connection from the angels and from the planet Hell. So when Moses departed from the Red Sea, the staff, it had a ring to it. That's why you got Lord of the Rings. A lot of the movies come from the Bible, y'all.
Yeah,
hey, I want to let y'all know again. It happened. Look, I done wrote some stuff down that he's talking about. I wrote down Song of Solomon and I wrote down Psalms. I said the book Songs of Solomon, they're love spells. Those are love spells in the Bible. And Psalms, those are the scriptures to break curses and protect yourself. I want to stress that, but it's funny that he just said it. You know, he didn't say that, but you know, he was talking about that.
Okay, so did you have something to say, Golden?
Yes, I got something to say. Wallow is right, because most people don't know this, right? I didn't know this myself, and I post this on TikTok and on YouTube about the original vampires. The original vampires are so-called black people, and I was blown. I mean, the difference between so-called black vampires and so-called white vampires is that so-called black vampires are like us when it comes to the sun because we got carbonated skin. You see, the Caucasian, Caucanoid, so-called white vampires, though, they don't got protection from the sun, just like regular Caucanoid beings. And I was so blown away about it. It was like, wow. So Esau created so-called black vampires. Even my friend on the bus, he even told me about so-called black people have vampire energy, and I thought it was conker noise, and I was like, whoa, I was freaking wrong. So the original vampires are not even so-called conker. They the so-called black vampires, like, Wesley Snipes on Blade, the movie Blade, where he's the Daywalker and he was a half vampire. It tells it all right in front of our faces. I'd rather take the red pill than the blue pill, because the red pill showing what really goes on when you see it in your consciousness. Am I right?
Well, we'll see. That's all I can tell you.
It's funny that you said Blade, because I got on Interview with the Vampire shirt right now. I wore
The
I bought
Interview
it
with
from
the
Temu.
Vampire.
Look how cheap it looks.
Right. So Rollo, let me ask you this. So are the vampires and werewolves, all this weird stuff, is it highly active on Halloween, or is it always at a certain time?
I seen two last night when I went to go get something to eat. So what they do is they roam in the cities, especially in Brooklyn. That's why they did the movie in Brooklyn. Certain parts of Brooklyn, they habitate. So they'll have the women come out between 5 and 8, and the men come out between 8 and 11. So
in the morning or at night?
At night. At night.
Ooh,
so
okay.
11 supposed to be a one in and one out, they call it. So when you walk out in the night, you walking into something. So I walked into a scenario when I went to go get some food. I seen two Gentiles, and out of nowhere they appeared two sisters. They came out of nowhere, like they time lapse. It's called time lapse walks. You could talk to somebody and mimic them to the point that you can hear their voice from another country. I had somebody told me that when I used to do it, they heard me speak in their house. That's how deep this is. You literally could talk to somebody in their house when they go to sleep and tell them what to do. And
so what are they gonna do? Are they like the vampires we see in the movie where they feed on blood? Like, what are they feeding on?
They have so
energy.
It depends on your DNA. It depends on your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
They want your energy.
Right.
They want to waste your time. They want to confuse you and convince you that they right.
Yeah, and they could become you. That's how a lot of people. Let me tell you, a cop told me this, and you know, Brain was the officer. A cop told me that they thought I was at a particular place, and I said it wasn't me. Somebody used my energy to formulate me to the point they almost looked like me, and they thought I did something wrong. That's why there's a lot of people arrested. They're not supposed to be arrested. This thing is deep. Somebody could be like, Selena, I'm not putting you scared. I thought I saw you a couple of days ago in New York. No.
Oh my God.
I'm not. We all have some type of twin.
Yo, look, I saw my great aunt. My great aunt died a few years ago in Beverly Hills. I saw a woman that looked exactly like her maybe like 2 weeks ago in the store. I said, "Damn, she looked like my Aunt Betty."
Mm-hmm.
It'd be
I'm
the
talking
same
about she had the
energy
glasses
too.
and all, like hair and all. I was like, "That's her."
Wait a minute. Let me go back. Let's go back, Rollo. You said what?
I thought I saw you 2 weeks in New York ago. Somebody looked like you. I know it wasn't you.
Well, I do have some cousins up there, so I don't know. It could have been a cousin.
Oh, wow. Hey, you put it out there. Hey, there it is.
So how did you know it wasn't me? Like what?
Because I know how you talk. I pick up on talking very well. I could not speak to a woman for a while, and I know if it's her voice. I just know how you talk. It's a certain thing about a man have. if they're not interested in a woman, they cool with a woman, they could pick up on the voice. The voice wasn't matching.
Signature confirmation.
Wow.
You see in the movies, you know, like some security things of voice recognition,
Mm-hmm.
like that. So basically, we can tell they can't completely duplicate the exact same voice to the same energy, the same vibe, the same inflection, sound, et cetera, et cetera. So you can tell a difference, but you got to be here. You got to be like on point. You got to be aware of these things. See, if you're not aware of it, you'll fall for it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Selena in New York. And then you might go run. You might find yourself in a situation. This is how a lot of people get caught up.
People get harmed. Yep. Get harmed.
Yep.
Yep. Get lined
Oh,
up.
that's kind of
Facts.
scary.
You thinking it's look, he'll think like for instance, you think it's somebody, let's say with that scenario Rollo said. So we'll be thinking it's you in New York, Selena. We know it's not actually you, but we think it's you, right? And let's say we're not unaware of all of this. So then you like, you know, hey, Brainwaves, you know, hey, John, hey, Rollo. Look, it could be all and Goten. You could tell all of us to come. Hey, y'all, I'm right here. Let's go over here and hang out at this spot or something. Then next, you know, we getting caught up or we finding out we in some situation or circumstance, or they trying to harvest us, etc. It can go any which way.
Yep.
And that's what's scary about that AI technology, because that AI technology, they can duplicate your voice and say all kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah, they do that. They will mimic you or imitate
Especially
rap.
phone calls. Listen, y'all, this is another thing. Phone calls. You think you're talking to your relative. You're not talking to your relative. It's been times I know when I'm not talking to my relative or somebody on the internet. They have it to whereas they have somebody could talk like you. They show you that in the movies. They can't hide it no more. This stuff is real, y'all. That's why it's important to meet the person in person. That phone stuff, a lot of people be like, why you don't answer the phone? Why you prefer messages? I take the messages because it's screenshots. It's a lot of people could use people's voices. That's like that Total Recall. That stuff is real.
Yeah.
So basically, these movies are predictive programming. Most of it.
I believe that every movie that's ever made has truth in it.
Yep.
They have to get it from somewhere, you know? And also, that's how technology, the new technology is brought to us. We always see it in the movie first.
Right.
And stories that we've basically been through, because a lot of us are being surveillance. I don't want to get into that right now, but a lot of us are. That's another thing that's underground that's coming out, you know? But yeah, anyways, yeah.
So we are. This is just a lot. You know, we might have to do a part 2 on this because this is just.
Have you ever heard, Selena, if you had any girlfriends thinking that they thought they slept with a man, but it wasn't their man, it was somebody else? Did you ever heard that? Anybody?
I have never in my life heard anything like that.
Yeah, they probably did, and I know that people's souls can get taken too, and another soul can be put in there.
Correct. Yep.
They do that.
Yep. Because
I
know I slept with somebody that I know it wasn't a partner of mine.
There's this episode on an anime series called Naruto. And
yeah, I had to see that for one of my classes.
It's called what?
Naruto or Naruto. Naruto. And so it just a long story short, it's a story about ninjas as kids, and they go through school. The school for them is they're going through Ninja Academy. So they're learning the ways of the ninja. They got to compete, et cetera, et cetera. They graduate, get certain ranks, go out into the real world, deal with situations. Well, there was this one ninja. He went through the ranks. He became one of the elite ninjas, but then he went bad. His name is Orochimaru. He's known as I call him the snake guy, the snake ninja. And what he did is he did a forbidden jitsu or forbidden ritual. And what he was doing was he basically figured out how to be immortal. So what he would do is he would find a young ninja that would go through the school. He would sit back, watch them train, watch them fight. And when he would find a host, he had a doctor as his main assistant. It was a doctor ninja, like a medical ninja, but they was all wicked. They were all bad, doing forbidden spells and stuff. And so what he would do was he would pick that young ninja And when his body would get old, Orochimaru, the snake guy, his body would get old. He couldn't live forever, so he needed a new host. He would put his soul into that new ninja so that his soul could be in there so that he could have all the power of the new ninja plus his and keep on going. So
Have
like
you seen
these,
Fallen? That's the same thing with
yep,
Denzel.
yep.
Right.
That's exactly what you talking about.
This is what happens, Selena. This stuff is real. I've seen ghosts
And that's why
and
that's why
spirits,
people
all of
shouldn't
that.
touch you sometimes, you know? Spirit transfer, energy transfer.
Yep.
When people be like, let me just give you a hug. I just want to hug you. Bitch, nah, why? I could transmute it, but bitch, why? You know?
Or like in church. And so everybody hug
And
your
laying
neighbor.
hands.
Yeah, all that.
That's energy shifting.
This is crazy.
I've
I
seen
know,
ghosts.
right?
I've seen spirit. I've been out doing Halloween at midnight, ghost tours, hunts, all types of stuff. I've been in the French quarters. I've been at like all
Oh,
these
you been to the French Quarter at night?
Louisiana, they
yeah,
teleport a lot in
I've been
Louisiana.
out there with
That's
Midnight,
teleport heaven.
Marie Laveau, all they been there, done all the stuff, all the spots, everything, been there, done that. I've seen spirits. I got stuff on film. I've heard things, people capturing stuff. I've seen it all. This stuff is real. I've seen demon possessions. I helped to deliver people. The hellhounds, all of this stuff is actually real. So like when they show it in the movies, and a lot of the spirit entities in the movies, they're actual spirit entities. So if you watch a movie and you're unaware of this, just like going out tonight, like one guy in the chat, I forgot his name. He said, "Well, my birthday's tonight or whatever it is. So you know, I'm gonna go out. If you go do something, you need to be prepared, just like anything. So it's like, okay, if I'm going out tonight, is one of the most craziest nights. So I need to be aware. I need to be prepared. I need to be thinking about this, just like any situation. You know, if it's going to rain, we be prepared. If it's a hurricane, tornado, a flood, we got to go here, go there. We're prepared for things. So we need to be prepared for things if we're going to do what we need to do. Like Rollo said, he had to go out and get something to eat that night. You know, we have certain emergencies happen. Like what happens if an emergency happens during Halloween right now and people got to go out? You know, you got to do what you got to do, but just be aware of what's going on when you go out, because this stuff is real.
Yeah. I want to ask you, you know, brainwaves and, you know, or anybody that has done this with you used to, you know, read tarot cards. A lot of people are saying that tarot cards are bad. They're not good. I'm, you know, I'm asking you, are tarot cards bad? You know, is even, you know, into astrology. Like I understand the book of Enoch, when the fallen ones would share things with the men and the women on certain things, certain secrets. In astrology, reading the stars is one of them, and that was in the book of Enoch. So, you know, people say, "Well, I'm a Sag." You know, some people say I'm a Virgo, and all this. Is this stuff bad? Is tarot card reading bad from your perspective? Because you used to do it and you no longer do it now.
This one is easy for me. I'm going to say this. This is what I'm going to say. One of the things when it comes to spirituality, we have been programmed, we have been indoctrinated. I've been in the pulpit, I've been in street ministry. When I say I've done it all, I've literally done it all. I know people in seminary school, all religions, all faith. I was once a Catholic, you know, Baptist, Christian, like all this stuff, Israelite. I've been around the block, New Ager, you name it. And so what I want to say is that here's what happens when we start using certain practices, and this is where the witchcraft aspect of things is an abomination. Because I know when I say this, certain people are going to be listening and try to use this to throw back in my face. I can care less. It's all about when you use things and those things come greater than your reliance on God. For instance, what I used to do is I never would use pendulums. I never would use tarot cards. I never would resort to astrology. I never would engage in mediumship. I never would do anything while we're on the subject. Altars, tools, spirit guides, from the Egyptian gods, like you name it, all the stuff under the sun. I never would do anything above what God would say. The problem is when you replace God, or what we believe is God, you replace God with those things, then those things become your God. And then what happens is you believe that I don't need help. I don't need to listen to God. And whatever may already be fated for your life, what already may be meant to happen, you begin to replace that with what someone else said. Now, in the same breath, when I said about religion, the same thing happens when it comes to these new age practices, astrology, when it comes to tarot, when it comes to a lot of things, the list goes on and on. People have perverted things, people have corrupted things. And I talked about this in the past, way back in medieval times, even before then. People, you had the parishioners of the church, and we've seen it right here on the screen, but the parishioners of the church would actually use tarot cards. And I've spoken on this many times. They actually would use tarot cards to help the people, the members of the church. And it wasn't until tarot cards got into the hands of the commoners, that is when it became corrupted. That's when it became bad. And that's when it got outside of the protection of the quote unquote church. And then it got bad. You could say witches, warlocks, whoever got a hold of it, start using the power of that to do bad things. That's when we get back into intention to know things that you're not supposed to know, to pervert things, to corrupt things, just like eating the fruit in the Garden of Eden. The fruit is like eating, it's like all the spiritual practices, tarot, metaphysics, science. I mean, you name everything under the sun, it's like you eat this fruit. So if you eat this fruit, that's how the devil tricked Eve and Adam. Eat this fruit. That's why he said you'll be wise as God. So then you know everything. You got access. And I don't want to say everything, but you have access to a lot of information. But what happens is a lot of people can't handle that power. So what happens is they get access to that power. Say, "Ooh, I can know this about Selena. I know what John is thinking. Or I can look at what's going on here. Rollo's over here, and then I can astral project. I can do this. I can go ahead and sleep. I can cast this." Like they lose. They're totally gone and corrupted. And that's never how it was intended to be. And this is one of the reasons why when they rewrote the Bible, this is why they rewrote the Bible. They started out on astrology. 3 wise men, they were guided by the stars. And even the Bible talks about the stars. Pay attention to the sun, the moon and the stars. Pay attention to it. It doesn't say worship it, but it says pay attention to it. So this is where you got to find that fine line. Now, I'm not advocating for anyone to necessarily do anything any particular way, because a lot of people were like, "Ooh, well, brainwaves are saying, hey, let me go pick up this deck. Let me go run here, run there." If that's not what's meant for you to do, because I'm going to say this, I went down that path and look at where I'm at now. So we cannot judge and say, well, somebody's not supposed to go down that path. You don't know what the Most High will have for somebody to do. He told me to go down that path. I fought this tooth and nail. I just want to make this clear. I literally fought for like about 6 months. I kept saying, no, I don't want to do this, God. People going to judge me. They know me as a church guy, all this stuff, my family, the community. And I went through hell and high water. And
wait a minute. Let me stop you here. So you're saying that God told you to get into tarot card reading?
Absolutely.
Isn't
me too? Me too.
Well, let me finish asking this. So, from my understanding, isn't tarot card reading considered divination?
That's what man would like to call it. That's what man would like to call it. And I want to again go back to what I was saying, because people rely on that and they don't rely on God. So then they rely on what the meanings of the cards say, what the readings say, and all of that allows an area for other spirits to come in. See, what happens is when you start to go into a particular area, then you open yourself up to certain things. That's why John Ramirez, the former witch, is saying, don't go out on Halloween. Like a lot of things is avoidance. Don't read on it. Don't, for instance, if you study certain religions, you study certain practices in certain cultures, you can open yourself up to quote unquote being corrupted or whatever things coming into your life because you're unaware of it and you're not prepared to go into it. That's what happened to the movie The Deliverance. They weren't prepared to film that movie, which was a real story. And so Monique and Lee Daniels and all them. That's why they got attacked, because they weren't prepared for that, nor did they have someone that was knowledgeable on it. So what I'm saying is this is not something for everyone to go down. You literally have to be called. Whatever we do, you have to be called. So if God is not calling you to go down that path, don't go down that path. But what I'm trying to say is that some of us are called. I'm gonna give you an example. If I never went down that path, I wouldn't be on this panel right now. I wouldn't be able to educate people. I wouldn't be able to help people be delivered. I wouldn't be able to see what's going on, call out the things that I'll call out, because I wouldn't know what it looks like. I have no familiar dealings with it. I don't understand it. I don't know it. And I've been conditioned by religion to avoid, because remember, Christ never was a Christian.
No.
Christ didn't have a religion.
Exactly.
And that's what people want to throw him into a religion. That's what man did. All the world leaders met. All the world leaders met, whether, no matter what their belief was, and they said, we got to pick one world religion to control the masses. That one world religion was Christianity.
We got one story, basically.
Would it be safe to say that God didn't tell you, but you did it, and he led you away from it into something else? Would it be safe to say that? Because I don't understand how, if by scripture, if he is against divination, why would he tell you to go into it? I believe that was your choice, because he gives us free will. I'm just stating.
Can I also say this before he
go ahead.
I want to let you know that divination is also a form of propheticism. It's the same thing. It's prophets. They're telling you the future, you know, and sometimes you don't have a means or cards or something. You just have the words from God. You know what? I realize that God talks to us in signs, and he talks to you through your mind, basically, you know, and it takes a strong mind to decipher if it's God or if it's the devil, you know? So the devil meaning an energy of negativity, you know what I'm saying? You know,
right.
Even if you don't believe in the devil, it's definitely a light side and a dark side to everything. So I believe that it's a lot that comes with that, because you have to have discernment, you have to have clarity, you know, you have to also have faith, you know, because a lot of it is having faith and knowing it's gonna happen because it has already, you know. That's something within itself, you know. So yeah, that's all I want to say.
Rollo, did you have anything you wanted to add to that before I move on?
Yeah, basically they just broke it down to the T. So my thing is that brainwaves, what he's saying is that the Most High let us go through certain things for the people to see it. Because the Bible said, to whom much is given, much is required. That's in the Bible. So if it was required of us to do it, it's a reason to it. Because even when Eve bit in the forbidden fruit of the knowledge and Adam followed her, and then the creation of Cain and Abel, the list goes on. You got to remember, if we don't know the balance, then if we naive, that's when you go through worse situations than being not naive.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are naive to a lot of things, and that's why they get caught up more in traps than the average person like us, because we wise enough to know the good and the bad. And what happens is,
and we're wise enough to question.
He gave us that responsibility for that. It's a responsibility for everything we do, cause and effect.
Right. And I believe that the free will that we have, it takes us down different roads.
Correct.
So those different roads that we end up taking, God, I believe the Most High God, you know, already knows the roads that we will take, and he will use whatever the roads that we took to be able to relate to other people that have went down that road.
Correct.
Just like, okay, so that's what I believe. What I don't
Look
believe.
how he got us together, Selena. Look at let's go back to this. I'm gonna give you another analysis. Look what happened to me 5 months ago. I'm not even supposed to be talking to brainwaves. I'm not supposed to be talking to y'all. Look how the doors open up. We all went through good and bad situations. We opened up opportunities in this YouTube space. If it wasn't what I went through, what the other brothers went through, what you went through, we would not be here talking about this. You came up with this from the Lord.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Look at John. Yeah.
And Selena, I have three things I wrote down when Brainwaves was talking.
Uh-huh.
And he was talking about tarot, and I wanted to definitely agree with everything that he said about tarot, and I also want to say that me reading tarot and doing readings for other people is I always give them a disclaimer in front. I tell them there's certain things I don't answer. Don't ask me when somebody's gonna die. Don't ask me how they're gonna die. Don't ask me when they're gonna die, what they're
Yeah.
gonna die from, or don't ask me anything like that because I already don't want to tap into it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I do is I tell them because a lot of people sometimes it's their first time or they whatever. So I always tell them, okay, well, just ask. I always give an honest um lighthearted question, like, let's just see what's ahead in your future, or
Mm-hmm.
tell me about my finances, tell me about my job, or don't necessarily I don't like questions asking about someone else, indulging in someone else's business unless is this person good for me, something
Mm-hmm.
like that. I don't ask me I don't do manipulation stuff and stuff like that. So there's certain things that I don't answer when I'm doing tarot already up front. But if it's gonna come out, it's gonna come out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as mediumship, I haven't gotten into that, but I haven't gotten into that as far as talking with someone else and doing it. Now, I know who I'm talking to when I'm spiritually by myself and doing things. That's a different thing. But also, before I do a reading, I have a whole speech I say. I always say, give me protect my energy while I'm channeling this, because me when I do a reading, I forget it. I forget what I said. I don't
Mm-hmm.
even remember this shit, and because it's not my message, And
Mm-hmm.
also, I want to also stress the fact that I don't overindulge. I don't read tarot every day. I don't
Mm-hmm.
pick up my card deck and read tarot every day. I don't pick up and read tarot and see past scenarios that are already played out. I don't indulge in that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I want to know about a person, I just speak their name. Tell me about this person, and then whatever. If I want to know, But I realized that just like my bad, Brainwave said, you'll go kind of crazy questioning or just having that knowledge or just having that power in your hands, and you want to know everything,
Right, John.
I realize the beauty of life is not knowing,
Yeah.
sometimes,
Sometimes.
and going with surprises, because I realize when I start expecting things or when I go into things with expectation, I tend to get let down because it's not what I expected,
Mm-hmm.
so I just go into a place knowing, okay, just like a bar. I'm gonna just go in here and have some drinks. I'm not going in here trying to get no numbers. I'm not trying to go home with nobody. I'm just going in here to drink and have fun by myself. Those are my intentions. My intentions or my expectations. I just leave it at the door. I don't even expect
Right,
things. I
right.
I expect to do what I came to do.
Okay.
And that's very important when it comes to divination. Now, the only reason why I got into tarot cards is because I was doing readings at first for people because I'm also a hairstylist. I've been a
Mm-hmm.
hairstylist for 15 years, and it's the first job that I created for myself, the most money I've ever made. So I live a totally different life than the person that works a regular 9 to 5. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was doing readings for some of my clients, and I was so spot on that it started to scare people,
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, I would be more better perceived if I had proof, So that's why I
Mm-hmm.
got into tarot, because I wanted actual physical proof of what I was saying,
Okay.
And I can't say that I don't I don't charge. I don't. I mean, I accept money I know now that I have to accept money for tapping into energy, period, because that's a form of exchange, and that's not free, you know.
Right.
Not saying it like that, but yeah, it's money is, you know, is whatever, it's energy. And so yeah, so I just noticed that nobody has ever come to me and told me that the reading I gave them was wrong.
Okay.
And so that's powerful to know that the shit I said was right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and me having heard that over 60 times, clearly it's been more than that, but over 60 times, that's that says a lot to me too, to not overindulge in something that is very powerful, you know.
Right.
So I always try to offer a solution as well too, or I always try to yeah, just give a solution to a possible problem that I could have possibly been through, or what worked out for me in a situation through experience, you know? So I
Okay.
try not to leave it on a bad note. But I also, tarot to me is more so what to look out for, what to be aware of. It's not like Brainwave said, it's not supposed to be used for the negative aspect, to just try to indulge in everybody's life and see how to manipulate them and get their money and steal from them and whatever the hell.
Yeah.
It's about looking ahead in the future, or getting insight about what I don't see or what I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, period. You know, that I need to be aware of, possibly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I
Well,
want to, Selena,
let me
if
finish
you may.
playing this. Thank you so much, John, for that. Let me play this, and then I'm gonna play another little video. Fair use.
Samhain became All Saints' Day or Hallows Day. All Saints' Day was started in 609 AD by Pope Boniface in Rome. All Saints' Day was introduced as a Christian holiday that was supposed to celebrate the Virgin Mary, but this was just a disguise for Samhain. The Romans disguised their pagan holiday as a new Christian holiday. As I mentioned earlier, Samhain was celebrated by the pagans by wearing costumes and making food offerings to the gods. On All Hallows Day, the people would wear costumes to fight off vengeful spirits that were free on Halloween night. The kids went door to door gathering soul cakes that people would give out in exchange for prayers. These soul cakes were seen as offerings that could set the souls free from purgatory. Just like people do with pumpkins today, turnips were lit up with candles to keep the evil spirits away. Even though the holiday had changed, they were still following pagan traditions as they still made offerings to the spirits. All the Romans did was disguise their pagan festival with Christianity. All the same activities that took place on Samhain took place on All Saints' Day, which evolved and became modern-day Halloween. The Romans made sacrifices to these gods of death for their blessings on Halloween, and people are blindly celebrating this today. Halloween in America is one of the most celebrated and profitable holidays. Every year, stores all over the country open up for just a month to sell Halloween costumes and decoration. In 2024, it's expected that billions of dollars worth of Halloween costumes and decorations will be sold. This goes to show just how important Halloween has become to our society. Similar to the pagans, people dress up in scary costumes to keep the spirits at bay and decorate their houses to align themselves with the god of death. The Romans did with Samhain like they did with many other holidays, modified it so the masses wouldn't know what they were truly participating in. Halloween was a day to celebrate death and darkness. They literally made sacrifices to the gods and were known to drink blood alongside other disturbing rituals. While people think they're celebrating Halloween, they're really celebrating Samhain. The month of October has become a month of preparing for the satanic festivals on October 31st. Movies and shows are all made for this month to honor the demonic energy when it's at its strongest, when the whole world is praising the spirits of darkness. Many people have seen the movie Halloween, which features the almost unstoppable Michael Myers, who goes around causing chaos on Halloween night. What many people don't know is that Michael Myers is actually possessed by the god of death, who forces him to make ritual offerings every year during Samhain, which we now know as Halloween. The backstory of Michael Myers goes all the way back to the time of the Druids and the Coat of Thorn. The Coat of Thorn was a coat of Druids who were being terrorized by the god of death. The god would destroy their village and the people every year during Samhain. In order to appease the demon, the cult would place a curse on a child in the village, and that child will be forced to ritually sacrifice their entire family to the god of death, in return sparing the town. We see more examples of Samhain in the American Horror Story franchise. The writers of American Horror Story's first season also depict the souls of the house being able to walk free on Halloween night, allowing them to cause havoc in their own town, similar to what is believed to happen on Samhain. While most people celebrate the modern version of Halloween, there's still many in the dark who celebrate the day as Samhain. Witches still to this day practice rituals and sacrifices on the night of Halloween, when they believe the gates of the spirit world are open. Witches perform all types of demonic rituals and offerings to appease their gods of death. In my opinion, Halloween was simply created to blindly manipulate people who were turning to Christ to participate in pagan spirit worship. Millions of people celebrate the Day of the Dead without even knowing what they're truly celebrating. You're giving your worship to the god of death. I'm not at all telling anyone not to celebrate Halloween, because that's not my place. We must all choose our own paths. I simply want to inform people to help them see the truth on why such a holiday even exists. There's a
Wow. I wanted to know if any one of you guys know, why is it so important for witches to do certain rituals or magic on Halloween? Why is that so important?
It's the most powerful day. If you can accomplish a goal, that's the day to accomplish it. So no matter what you've been planning all year, if whatever you and not only you individually, here's what makes it so important. You have a collective, you have a coven as we know it, a hive mentality. Everyone is believing this same thing. You know, when you hear scripture says the two or more are gathered in terms of
Right.
prayer. So you have a collection of people that you don't even know, like you're not even associating with them, you're not connected with them, but yet they got the same mindset, they got the same energy. They may even be practicing the same spell. They want the same type of things on the same day, and then they're tapping into the same energies with the veil between the natural world and the spirit realm being super thin, paper thin. So if there's a time to get a job done, especially if you've been in crunch time, that's a Hail Mary in football terms. That's a Hail Mary. We're going to throw it. We're going all the way. This is going to put us in the end zone. So that's why they do it. There are a few other times in the year, but that's one literally, I'll probably say collectively, that's got to be the most powerful day. Collectively. You got the deep, you got the spirits on one accord. You got the beings. So you got people, I'll say, below the ground, above the ground, and every which where in between. They're all on one accord.
I want to say that day and Mardi Gras. Because literally the day after Mardi Gras is what? Ash Wednesday. It's major in Christianity. But also, I wanted to say that, yeah. Also, I wanted to say eating, they also try to get you to eat something. Eating is a form of sacrifice. I'm not going to get into the logistics. If you know, you know. But eating something is a form of sacrificing something. It's a ritual, believe me. And just let me just tell you this as well. Just I can't really talk about a lot of stuff, but or I don't want to as well. But any ritual, they portray it as if it's a play. I'm gonna just say that it's an act. So they act it out, but it's really happening. You know, that's how they get you to go along with it.
So you're saying that witches, they will have you to eat their food, or like what are you saying?
You know what? I don't like eating people's food. I just naturally just don't trust it. You know, people you put all kind of stuff in their food, blood. You know, I naturally already don't eat nothing red. You can't try to feed me no spaghetti that you done made. No egg roll sauce.
No
None of that
spaghetti.
shit. No hot sauce. No special hot sauce. Anything that got special on it, just a nice special blend.
Nah,
It
it's
got
deeper than
something
this,
in it.
nah.
You
It's
know,
deeper than that.
this is how I think
It's
naturally.
deeper?
You know.
Yeah, it's deeper than the spaghetti meatball.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
oops, up, my bad.
They got the
it's all kind of stuff that can go into and it's actual ancient recipes. I'm not going to get into that either. It's also ancient recipes that they use along with blood and other things that you're supposed to eat as a sacrifice. I'm just gonna put it like that.
And you know how them celebrities or them billionaires, trillionaires, they don't eat regular food. All they eat is freaking flesh. That
No,
really,
and they all have their own personal chefs too. I want to spread. He's right.
personal chefs, absolutely. Yeah, I'm glad that I'm not no billionaire and trillionaire because I don't want to participate.
It's not about because you have righteous millionaires and billionaires. Let me just say this.
Okay.
They beyond the food. In Colombia, because this is a traveling thing. In Colombia, they got this perfume. It's even in the movie that came out with the lady. I forget the name of the movie with the camera. What's the name of the movie, y'all? It came out this year.
I don't know.
The movie with the picture, Blink.
Okay, yeah.
And Blink, it show you the red card and it show you the perfume. A lot of the Latin women's, what they do, because I've dealt with certain Latin women, they could get you with the food, but they also could get you with a certain perfume. There's a certain perfume that has food to it. So when you kiss a woman on the neck and you nipping her, and when you kiss her, you going crazy about it. It's like she put the agitated spell. It's all in the face. They put it on their respectfully, we on the channel, their bosoms. Oh, it's a lot they do if they want to keep you. It's not the food though, John. It's more to it.
Lord, well, I don't be doing none of that. That's so weird.
Wow.
They can definitely get you with the scents.
Yes.
I agree. They can also get you with dust. You know, some sort of powdery substance. Yeah, and they can also it's really strong manipulation, but they can like numb you in person. You know, they can like make you do otherwise. I don't know. It's this high level ranked spiritualists that can contort people's energy to the point that they do what they say.
Well, we were talking about that earlier, John, and we'll talk a little bit about that, what we were talking about, because some of the musical artists that's out here are self-proclaimed witches, or
you got that right.
And so, do you guys think, since you are, I would say, more spiritually, I'm not going to say advanced, but you're very discerning, you're very intuitive. Do you believe that, allegedly they say Beyonce is a witch? Do you think she's a witch, or what's your...
I'm not gonna speak of Beyonce simply because my brother who's passed away, he passed away last year. He wrote "Sorry" for Beyonce, so I'm not I'm not gonna speak on that. I what she does, I don't know anything about her personally. I've never met her in person, although I've seen her in
I've
concert.
seen her in person.
I'm not speaking on anybody else's behalf. I don't even want to speak of Beyonce, just to be honest.
Okay.
I've seen her and Jay-Z in person a few times at the Brooklyn. I will say, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. They are what most people allegedly talk about. I seen them in person. He couldn't look at me in the face. I'm gonna say that. Jay-Z couldn't look me in the face. Beyonce couldn't look me in the face.
Yeah. Do you think it's because they didn't?
Because they know who I am back in the days. You got to understand something. I was very known in New York back in the days. I was a C-lister. So it's like I know about the whole thing. I know who dealt with Jay-Z. I know who dealt with Beyonce. Yeah.
Ooh, I want to say some stuff so bad, but
no, I can't go into all specifics. It's not in fear. It's just that they they have a lot of connections to certain people, even for certain family members.
That's true.
And it's also out of respect too. You know, some of these celebrities, I've been in their homes, I've been in their bedrooms and things like that. I don't want to personally cross any lines that you know, that don't have nothing to do with me. Even if I have witnessed some things, even if I do know some things, even if they stay around the corner from me.
Right.
You know?
And I get it. I get it.
So I just don't want to get into it.
Okay. We'll talk later. Okay. Because you know I'm gonna be like John, so da 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 da. But anyway, we'll talk later about that. I want to show you guys something else. I have two little short videos I'm going to show you guys. And happy birthday again to Amber. I hope that you have a great day on tomorrow. Yeah, I'll shout out, you know, give Amber some love. Happy birthday to her. Let me share this, and then we're going to have to do a part 2 on this because you know me, I'm getting a little sleepy. Let's see. I want to show you guys. This happened, I believe, in 2006. And this is not an AI. Actually, there was someone that was videotaping this. I think it was in Mexico. It says it's real Mexicans flying witch, and so I wanted to share this with you guys and see what you think
Before
about
you say
this.
something about that, Selena,
Mm-hmm.
in the movie Hancock, during the time of Jacob's sons, they, you know, Flash Gordons, we used to run fast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna tell you a true story. I was one of the fastest runners. This is no lie. From
Mm.
the side over by Gates Alley, Brooklyn, I used to go to a church called Yogi Bear. So me and my friend Clarence was taking we was running from the all over the Williamsburg Bridge all the way to Gates Avenue. We beat my friend and another young man, you know, teenagers. We were all teenagers. So we beat them. They took the train. They thought they was gonna win. I got there so quick. So like a lot of people flying, that stuff is real. Hancock, that stuff is real. Our people used to fly back in the days. Walking waters and walking through walls. That stuff is real. On the bad side and on the good side.
Okay. Well, honey, I don't want to see none of that. I'll probably have a heart attack.
They
I'll probably
mostly
fall out.
in the cold climate though. They're mostly in the cold climate, but there's some from warm climates. But we like to play. Go ahead and play the tape.
Okay, let me play this. This happened in May 17th, 2006. Is it Montreal, Mexico?
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay, so let me play that. So this is a person. It looks like they're on some type of broom.
Wow. I believe it.
Opening them portals. Yeah.
It's another person flying as well.
Where are they? This looks like it's probably
Montreal, Mexico.
Okay. So that's more so by the what's that called? What is that called? It's called the Devil's it's kind of
Oh,
like
like
by
that
the
portal.
equator. It's
Yeah.
called the Devil's Triangle or the Devil's
Bermuda
something.
Triangle.
Yeah, I think it's something like that.
But that's where a lot of energy is. A lot of, because you know the lowest you go, I think the lowest point of the earth is in Texas or Mexico or somewhere.
Yeah. So these people are flying. They're surrounded by mountains. It looks like.
Yep.
Some trees. So these people they're not walking. This is not AI. They're actually flying.
Like
I want to say that that's where a lot of beings are. They're in the mountains.
Correct.
They are in the mountains. They are in caves. They're in places where humans don't go usually.
Look at that. Y'all see that?
Wow, kind of like Dragon Ball Z.
I don't know about that, but just looking at this, it's really creepy. I mean,
It
it's
is. I mean,
extremely creepy.
it's creepy because we have to understand that. Well, I always go back to Sodom and Gomorrah in the Bible, and why they actually destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah is because it was a lot of evil shit going on. Like evil shit that's not even going on right now. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
it was super evil, and
Mhm.
I just it was so evil that God sent an angel to destroy it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I just think about that, and I'm like, damn, what could have possibly happened? This just goes through my mind. What could have possibly happened
Yeah,
back then? Like what the hell were they doing?
I
And
so yeah,
clearly, well, this all I was gonna say. Clearly, it's information out there, and it's things that clearly people can do, is such as fly on a broom, that we don't know. And I think that's
right.
why the flood also happened as well too, to clear humanity of any knowledge before, you know, and to start over, So I feel like it's definitely real. I don't put nothing past nobody. The stuff I've
I'm
seen,
telling you.
I'm
So
just telling
I'm
you,
telling
I
you, John,
I believe it.
this is really scary. So just this is the end of the live, but I want to ask you guys before we end this live. Two things I want to ask you. So basically, I want somebody just briefly just to say yes, no, or and why. Is Halloween bad or is Halloween okay?
It's
I want to know you guys' opinion right quick.
To
I'm gonna
me, it's
start with
bad if
brainwaves. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
I'm
John. Go ahead, John.
I was just gonna say this. I was just my thing is it's bad if you don't look at your surroundings, if you don't pay attention to what's going on, and if you don't have a schedule. If you're just doing nothing, you can't do something on the whim or just go out. But you definitely need someone else to go out with on Halloween. I just think unless you're just gonna go to your regular spot and go straight home.
And you
That's just
said
how I
because
feel.
it's a lot of spiritual, like bad spiritual activities going on spiritually
Yeah.
that we cannot explain, basically.
Right.
Okay. What about you, brainwaves? What do you feel about that?
It's definitely bad. And
Mhm.
again, you probably gonna hear us say similar things. A lot of people see it as an innocent day. It's just
Right.
another holiday. It's just something everywhere that you see churches celebrate. They do trunk or treats
Hmm.
at churches, and everyone's doing it. So it's got to be fine, right? Because everyone's doing it. You look
Mm.
around, it looks like everyone's okay. That's the false. That's the illusion.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
what they want it to look like on the surface. Everything's fine. So we have to
Mhm.
remember what's going on under the surface. For
Right.
instance,
And it's costume day.
yes, yes. So that's right. So you can't see what someone's true intentions are, and you don't
Yeah.
know, like we saw in that video, if a person is actually a spirit, are they a demon?
Mhm.
Are they like Michael Myers? Do they have the curse of the thorn? They back here. Was it someone your family might have done to come after you? There's a lot of stuff we are not readily aware of. So it's bad on so many levels that people can't even comprehend. Um,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna reiterate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this now. I'm highly aware that schools, participate in it. Churches do it. You have
Mhm.
functions in your neighborhood. If you go in a grocery store, so look at this. If you go in a grocery store and you gotta buy something and you out doing it, they got all these Halloween displays. You gotta go somewhere. They got all these Halloween decorations. Technically, you're participating in Halloween just by patronizing that store. I don't want to break that down on a deep level, but I just want to make something that you got some over religious people that don't understand it just by doing that. Or if you buy something online from a store or a company, it could be Amazon anyway, because they participate in supporting that. By you
Mhm.
supporting that company, you're essentially yoking yourself to potential entities and all of that. So what I want to say is that everyone needs to be hyper vigilant on a day like Halloween, because it's not a good day. So stay prayed up, like John said. If you got to go somewhere with someone or someone's. If you can,
Yeah,
someone's, as many people
the
as
more the
possible.
better.
Yes.
Okay.
Protect your children. If you don't have to go with your kids, keep your kids in. The list goes on. And just be aware, because we can't actually avoid these things yet.
Right.
Like I said, it's very technical. There's spiritual connections just by shopping at Amazon. You shop at Walmart. You shop at the grocery store. You got to go patronize this place. You go past people. You drive past people, you're still driving past that energy. Yea, though I walk through the valley. So I don't want to break it down, but it's deeper than most of these people will speak on it. And they make it seem like, well, I don't go out and I don't do this, but you're still technically associated with, even if it's a content creator that you subscribe to, you're associated with, and they're doing it, the energy can come through. So just be prepared, y'all. It's a very bad day. But we got to do what we got to do. We got to exist and get through society. So just be aware of it and do the best you can to arm yourself with that wisdom.
Right. What about you, Rollo?
Yeah, as long as you're not in fear, at the same time, be cognizant, vigilant, and pay attention to your surroundings. And this is the thing I would say to anybody that's going out: just make sure you and your partner or your friends is on the same board. Try not to overdo things so that you can get back home safe if you're into that lifestyle.
And also, the reason why it's important to go with multiple people is because everybody thinks differently. It's good to have all kind of perspectives,
You just want to have two people on point, because when I used to go out with a lot of people, it was two people on point. You want to make sure the driver's on point.
Right.
And your awareness of the person that's in the passenger side or in the back is on point. Especially you ladies. You can't all get tipsy. No.
Oh my God, no. Oh my God. That's the best advice.
Because you know why? Because if you're the leader of the group, the leader has to be on point.
Right.
And you gotta have a weapon on you. You gotta have something. A screwdriver,
I've
a knife.
a lot of ladies at the club. I got the leader away, and I've had so many ladies back then. By the time they leader call their phone, she didn't even answer the phone because I already got her mesmerized.
Oh Lord, you a mess. Boy, stop. Okay, Goten, your last words.
My last words is Halloween is a pagan holiday. It's evil. I don't care what others said. Like, oh, it's an incident. Oh, it's good. Kids should be having fun going out the trick or treating and stuff. But peep this. And I'm taking somebody's talking point.
Just talk, Goten.
Oh, okay. So, like I just said, peep this. Just be aware of what's going on. Look around your surroundings and your environment, the environment that you're in. I'm not telling no one what to do. They got to figure this out on their own. So that's it. That's all I have to say. Hashtag for the culture. All right.
All right.
But have fun, and just like he said, but still have fun. Enjoy your life, but don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Enjoy don't be life. Stupid.
Okay. Enjoy your life, but don't be stupid.
Yeah,
so guys, listen, I would love to next week to have you guys, especially like Brainwaves, John, and Rollo, to go over some of the other spiritual aspects of the things that's out here. I want to talk about the Ouija board. I want to talk about those things. I want to know about giving demonic I would say demonic entities legal rights, because some of us are not aware that because we do certain things, we may be giving demonic forces legal rights to our lives. So I want to talk a little bit about that, more of the I don't know, maybe I'll call the live spiritual awakening, because I want to have I want to have different views on it. I don't want it all to be people that are believers like me. I want it to be other people that have a different way of thinking, and I want your opinion on it, how you see things. So, and like I said, Rollo and Brainwaves, y'all have kind of been on both sides, so you have a good, and even John, you were raised up in the church. You just, went into other things. So I want to have that. I want to talk about that one next week. So if you guys are open to it, I would love for you guys to come back.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Tell me when. I'll be there.
All right. So I'm looking. It looked like unless something happens, God willing, hopefully next Thursday at 7 p.m.
Great. My mic was me, but I was saying I'm with it too.
Okay. And Amber, if you would like to come up next week, if you're available, or anybody that can add to the conversation and not take away, and when I say take away, not go to over here on the west side when we over here on the east. Somebody that can stay on the subject. Somebody that is, that is thinking clearly. I don't want nobody that I'm kind of like wondering what's going on. So I'm trying to be nice about it, but I want people to stay on the subject and really add to the conversation. So if you are that type of person and you would like to come up, you're more than welcome to come up. So I would love to do that one next week. Thank you for everybody for coming through. Thank you, CX. Thank you, Forever Studios, Amber, Deborah. Let's see, Mr. Royal. We'll go through Slim. Remember him coming through. It was a few other people. I got Agent Smith, Natasha. I cannot pronounce your name. How do you pronounce this? This is a Hebrew name.
Alicia.
Alicia. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Alicia. Okay, yeah. I didn't want to mispronounce it. So Alicia, thank you for coming through, sweetie. I appreciate you for coming through. Who else came?
Oh, he's Hebrew.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think yeah. Okay.
Mercy T, Lon. Let's see. Angelo, Melly Mel, Bolo. Let's see. We have KD, Golton.
Yep, that's me.
Lisa. And Rumorsville, thank you for coming through. Randy, thank you so much. Derek, hey Derek, I didn't see you. Thank you for coming through. Ryan, and if I missed you, charge it to my head and not my heart. I appreciate everybody that showed me some love and came through, whether it's pressing the like button, whether it was giving a cash app, or I didn't get any super chats today, but thank you for coming through anyway for your support. I have memberships where I put certain videos on memberships only, for various reasons. But I do appreciate anybody that comes through and show me some love, whether it's pressing the like button, whether it's sharing my live, whatever it is, showing your support. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm not trying to love bomb you, but I definitely love you to Reese's Pieces. Okay. That's basically just saying I appreciate everything, your love and energy towards me. I really do. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me on my panel. Hopefully I can get some women up here
for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Good. I'm gonna go back and watch this
right now.
Yeah.
Treating right now.
Huh?
The ladies are treating for their next man for next month.
They trick or treating, okay? Because somebody asked me, was I a treat or a trick? I said, I'm a treat. I don't know, but I ain't no trick, and I don't be tricking. So I'm like, nah, I'm a treat. Hey, Carl, good to see you. Thank you for coming through and showing me some love. Well, guys, I am going to exit stage left. It's been a long day. And thank God tomorrow is Friday. So I will see you guys later. I don't know what time I'll be live, but just press the notification button so you'll know when I am going live again. So thank you so much. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right.
Deuces.
Salina.
It's a vibe, baby. Oh Oak Cliff girl, can't make you change my world. Damn, you're so fine, girl. Oak Cliff girl, put them heels on and rule.
Welcome to Selena's Couch, where you are welcome to be free to be yourself. So you can lay your head on my couch, on my pillow.
It's all good, we can do whatever we wanna do now. I'm in my bag right now, and I got a feeling, babe, yeah. You gon' be my number one lover. Spend the night making love to each other, with the lights on top of the covers, just me and you, babe. And I feel like you're my
Love you to Reese's Pieces.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.